You think it's the universe watching you, but it's you who brings it into existence. With every thought, every word, you shape the invisible field that sustains it. Nothing is waiting out there. It's the field that's waiting for you. It all begins with two simple words. I am. They may sound ordinary, but they carry the creative power of an entire universe. Each time you say, I am, you decree a reality, activating frequencies the cosmos obeys without hesitation. The field doesn't distinguish truth from belief. It reflects what you sustain with faith and emotion. If you say, I am limited, the field contracts. If you say, I am infinite, the field expands. The question is, what have you been saying after I am? Because that is exactly what you've been living. Most people don't realize the vibrational weight carried by every word they speak about themselves. They spend their days reinforcing frequencies that imprison them. They say, I'm tired, I'm unlucky, I'm anxious. And without realizing it, they're programming the field to confirm precisely that. Each of these statements is an energetic command launched into the universe. The field doesn't judge, argue, or question. It simply responds with perfect fidelity to the vibration you emit. And the more you repeat it, the more solid that pattern becomes, until it feels impossible to escape. The mistake is thinking the universe is denying you something. But the universe never denies. It mirrors. The reflection doesn't appear because you desire something new, but because you keep sustaining the same image. What you call destiny is really just the echo of what you believe yourself to be. Many try to change their lives by altering only what they do, but not what they say and feel. They want to manifest abundance, but still vibrate in lack. They want love, but keep saying, I'm alone. The field responds to this dissonance with silence, because where there is incoherence, there is no creation. Transformation begins when you observe your words as portals of energy. The verb is the mold of reality. When you change what you declare, the mirror changes the reflection. And when the reflection changes, life changes its form. Quantum physics reveals something many still struggle to accept. The universe isn't out there waiting to be discovered. It's being created right now, this very moment, by the one who observes it. Everything that exists is energy in a state of possibility. And it's consciousness that decides which of those possibilities takes form. When you say, I am, you're emitting the most powerful signature in the cosmos. Those two words are like vibrational coordinates in the field. They tell the universe, this is where I choose to exist. Each declaration collapses infinite potential realities into a single specific experience, yours. Reality doesn't respond to physical effort, but to vibrational coherence. You can desire anything, but if your emotion vibrates in doubt or fear, the field will respond to that frequency, not your request. The universe is coherent, and therefore manifests exactly what you believe yourself to be. I am is the meeting point between the human and the divine. It's the moment when consciousness, by naming itself, recognizes itself as creator. When you say, I am light, you're not merely describing something. You're becoming the vibration of light. You are commanding the field to reorganize everything according to that frequency. Modern science is beginning to understand what spiritual traditions have always taught. The observer is not passive. It influences the result. Energy responds to intention. The electron behaves according to the gaze. Thus, every I am is a wave of creative collapse, a conscious choice materialized. The universe is a sensitive mirror. It doesn't judge, correct, or ask if you're sure. It simply reflects what you vibrate with conviction. If you affirm, I am confused, the field will show you more confusion. But if you affirm, I am clarity, the field reorganizes in harmony with that inner truth. To understand this is to know you were never a victim of destiny. You were always its sculptor. Every thought, word, and emotion are particles of creation, and I am is the mold where the invisible becomes real. Modern science is beginning to touch what spiritual masters have affirmed for millennia. Everything is energy, consciousness, and vibration. Max Planck, the father of quantum physics, said that matter is simply energy whose vibration has been slowed down enough to be perceived by the senses. In other words, what we call real is only the invisible made slower. Einstein, by affirming that time and space are relative, opened the path to understanding that reality isn't a fixed stage, but a field in constant creation. When you think, feel, and declare something, you interact with that field. Each I am is a wave of information launched into the energetic structure of the cosmos. Joe Dispenza teaches that the brain doesn't distinguish what is lived from what is vividly imagined. The mind creates the experience before it happens, and when emotion and thought enter coherence, the body becomes the transmitter of that new reality. I am is the frequency that synchronizes the entire system. Greg Braden calls this phenomenon the bridge between science and spirituality. He explains that the heart emits an electromagnetic field thousands of times more powerful than the brain, and it's within that field that the word becomes living vibration. The word, when felt as truth, becomes quantum code. But the revelation isn't only in laboratories, it's also in the scriptures. In Exodus 3:14, God presents himself to Moses saying, "I am that I am." This phrase is not a theological metaphor, it's a declaration of pure consciousness. The recognition that existence itself is the act of being. I am is the divine signature in motion. When you pronounce it with presence, you align yourself with the same intelligence that keeps the stars burning and the oceans in balance. You remember that you're made of the same creative substance as the universe itself. Science explains the mechanism. Spirituality reveals the mystery. Together, they point to the same truth. The word creates, the feeling shapes, and consciousness observes. I am is the instant when God awakens within you. Imagine standing before a mirror. You stare, waiting for it to smile first, but it remains still. The reflection only changes when you do. The universe works the same way. It is the great mirror of consciousness, reflecting what you believe yourself to be, not what you merely wish to see. When you declare yourself small, the mirror of reality shrinks. When you declare yourself abundant, the reflection expands. The field doesn't resist or argue. It simply returns what you emit. It's a perfect system of vibrational correspondence. Every thought is a gesture before the mirror of the cosmos. The secret is remembering that the mirror never lies. If the reflection shows lack, it's not punishment, it's information. It's the field saying, the frequency you're sustaining now is creating this. Instead of fighting the reflection, change the image you project. Smile at the mirror, and it smiles back. Radiate gratitude, and the world feels lighter. Declare, I am light, and the shadow loses its power. The universe isn't a judge, it's a loving reflection, responding to every vibration with absolute precision. The field doesn't resist, it only reflects. Elias was an ordinary man. He worked hard, but nothing seemed to prosper. Every day he repeated to himself, I'm unlucky, I'm forgotten, I'm a failure. He didn't realize those words were seeds cast into the fertile field of creation. And the universe, faithful to the gardener, made exactly what he declared bloom. He believed luck lived in others. He watched people succeed and wondered why everything seemed to go wrong for him. But he couldn't see that his inner voice was the chain keeping him trapped. Each I am, spoken in despair, became an invisible wall around him. One night, exhausted from trying and failing, Elias walked to a distant overlook. Up there, the silence was absolute. The sky was so full of stars it seemed to breathe. He looked to infinity and, for the first time, asked for nothing. He simply said, "What's wrong with me?" That's when an elderly woman appeared. Her eyes were calm, almost translucent. She sat beside him and said, "Nothing is wrong with you. You've just forgotten who you are." Elias smiled, confused. She continued, "You spend your days telling the universe that you are small, and the universe believes you. It only reflects." "But how can I change that?" he asked. She replied softly, "Change the words. Say with your heart what you wish to become. The field doesn't respond to doubt, it responds to certainty. Declare what you truly are, and you'll see the world rearrange itself around you." That night, Elias went home different. Before sleeping, he whispered, "I am capable. I am guided. I am abundance." At first, it felt like just words, but inside him, something began to move, a silent vibration that seemed to reorganize the air. In the following days, the same situations appeared, but Elias reacted differently. When things went wrong, he took a deep breath and said, "I am calm." When fear visited, he said, "I am faith." Each declaration was a new note vibrating in his field, and the mirror began to change. Without noticing, the people around him changed too. An old friend invited him to join a project. An unexpected opportunity appeared. Doors that once seemed locked began to open, and more than that, the feeling of failure disappeared. The world hadn't changed, and he had. Months later, Elias returned to the same overlook. He looked at the sky again, and this time asked nothing. He simply said, "I am grateful." The wind blew softly as if the universe smiled back. In that instant, he understood. "I am" is not a phrase. It's a state of consciousness. The field never expected him to be perfect, only present. Every time he said, "I am," the universe replied, "Yes." And so, through small gestures and great silences, Elias learned the secret of creation. There's nothing outside to conquer, only something inside to remember. And when remembrance becomes constant, the whole world changes color. Elias stopped chasing luck. He stopped asking for miracles. He simply became the miracle, because whoever discovers the power of "I am" realizes they were never asking the universe. They were the universe asking itself to awaken. Now it's time to bring all this into your own life, because it's not enough to understand the power of "I am." You must live it. Every word you speak about yourself is a seed cast into the quantum field, and like every fertile field, it responds to the kind of seed it receives. Step 1. Observe. Throughout the day, notice what you say after "I am." Listen to your thoughts, your words, your gestures. You may discover you've been feeding old patterns, unconscious repetitions of pain and lack. The first step to change is to notice what's being created. Step 2. Reprogram. Replace limiting declarations with affirmations coherent with who you want to be. If you used to say, "I'm tired," say, "I am energy." If you said, "I'm forgetful," declare, "I am focus." Say it with emotion, as if it were a living truth. The field doesn't respond to words, it responds to the vibration that sustains them. Step 3. Embody your new frequency. Live one day as the version of yourself that already is what you declare to be. Walk, speak, and breathe as someone who already has what they seek. This is the vibrational coherence the field needs to reorganize your reality. When you act as if it's already done, the universe understands it's real. Step 4. Feel. Emotion is the fuel of creation. Words are the structure, but feeling gives them life. Feel gratitude as if the miracle had already happened. Feel joy as if the field were smiling back at you. The vibration of gratitude accelerates every manifestation. These practices aren't magic rituals. They're realignments of consciousness. When you declare "I am" with presence, you stop trying to control life and start flowing with it. That's when the current moves. That's when life finally cooperates. Remember, the universe doesn't respond to what you want, but to what you believe yourself to be. So declare consciously. Declare with love. Because in the end, reality is nothing more than the echo of your own "I am." You were never waiting for the universe to hear you. It was the universe waiting for you to remember who you are. Because the field doesn't resist, deny, or delay. It simply waits until your vibration aligns with what you were born to manifest. The human mind believes it must ask, beg, or convince the cosmos to respond. But the field doesn't need pleading, it needs resonance. The moment you let go of control and simply be, everything starts to align. Creation happens when you release the effort and embrace the state of being. Close your eyes for a moment. Breathe. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. That movement is the universe moving within you. Say silently, "I am presence. I am peace. I am the field." Notice how the energy shifts. There is no longer separation between you and the whole. "I am" is the portal back home. The moment when the creator and the creation recognize themselves as one. You're not a fragment trying to connect to the whole. You are the whole, experiencing itself as a fragment. When you understand this, the search ends and the flow begins. The power isn't in desiring something new, but in vibrating as if you were already complete. Because when you vibrate completeness, the field gives you more reasons to feel the same. Manifestation isn't conquest. It's remembrance. You simply recall what you've always been. You never needed to create what already is, only to remember. And when you remember, the entire universe bows to your consciousness. Everything you seek already exists, not somewhere distant, but in the version of you that remembers who you are. Each word, each thought, each emotion builds the bridge between the invisible and the visible. The field isn't outside. It pulses within your consciousness, waiting for direction. You are the artist and the canvas, the sound and the silence, the observer and the observed. When you realize this, struggle ends and flow begins. The universe ceases to be something to conquer and becomes something to express. I am is not a phrase. It's the state of one who lives in coherence with their true being. Close your eyes and repeat silently. I am. I am the field. I am the whole in motion. Let this vibration echo through your body, as if every cell recognized what the spirit has always known. Be, become, receive. If this message touched something within you, declare it to the universe. Write in the comments, I am the field. Because when you write it, you're not just typing, you're anchoring a new frequency, sealing the remembrance of who you truly are. Share this video with someone who needs to awaken to this truth. Each time one consciousness remembers, the entire field expands. We are all part of the same creative pulse, echoing the same vibration of I am. And if you want to deepen this knowledge and learn to align mind and energy in practice, I've left a special material in the link below. A guide to help you live this transformation every day until I am not becomes your natural state of being.